I'm joined by one of my instructors today, Eric, out there in beautiful Michigan, and you're going to talk to us about uh, the Clipper marketplace that you just vibe coded. Is that right, man?
Right, yeah. The name is Clipper Market, and it was kind of like a replication of WAP, but more suited towards like a general audience and a more general purpose. And I've so this actually started when Rich and me and other product managers were doing a hackathon about a couple of weeks ago, and um, so the problem that I wanted to solve with this product was, so there are two sides, right? There are content creators and there are consumers, like the viewers of the product. And content creators, their problem is, yeah, um, they there are so many like unauthorized shorts moving around in the YouTube space that
Uh-huh.
they have not, agreed to. So and they have those original like long form contents, but they wanted to make it. But other people are taking advantage of their situation and making copies of the short clips to make themselves the money. And second problem was that um, there are many people in Korean market, in the Korean YouTube market. They know that YouTube Shorts are actually beneficial for increasing their subscribers, but they are not really using it to their full extent. Either because like there could be like two reasons. First one, they don't exactly know how to um, make shorts that could be like, go viral. Or second, they don't have the bandwidth. Like they have to make contents, they spend time on like editing and stuff, and they don't have time to make those short clips. On the other hand, there are like the consumer side or the clipper side who actually have the desire to earn more money by doing these kind of side hustles. So Clipper Market is kind of designed to be an intersection of that, so that clippers are gonna make short clips out of their long form contents and make them viral so that um, they are not unauthorized. They are completely authorized by the creators and can earn money for themselves and for the creators as well by directing those viewers to those channels.
Got it. Can you do a little demo for us so we can all
Yeah,
see
of
the
course.
visual?
Is it okay if I share my screen?
100%. Give me a second here. Yeah, please share your screen.
Okay.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it.
So this
Yeah.
So this was actually created in like under 12 hours because it was for a hackathon. So it has some rooms of improvement for sure. And it was initially designed for the Korean market, which is why the initial page is in Korean, but I added a toggle button right here to turn it into English. So what it's saying is, connecting creators with clippers and how creators can receive short form content from clippers and reward them based on their performance. Meaning, for like 1,000 views they gain, they would get a certain amount that the creator has initially posted on their campaigns. And I wanted to seek who would benefit from the Clipper market first. Would be like experts maximizing time efficiency because they wouldn't have the bandwidth to create those shorts, like people in finance or making educational content. Or second, streamers worried about unauthorized use. Like I mentioned before, it would be like game streamers or like other live streamers out there. And third one would be like foreigners living in Korea. They have the desire and the need to gain more followers and subscribers from Korea because they are in the context, but they don't have like the full cultural understanding of like what Korean viewers like. So that would be up to those clippers to perform this as well. And how it works is pretty simple. Creators set the requirements and rewards for the short form content they need, and they create campaigns based on that. And clippers, they volunteer to participate in the campaigns that they like, and they download the raw videos to, analyze and pick which video to choose from, and they make clips based on that. And the platform, it measures performance based on like how much the actual clips from those clippers, the views they created. And last would be the reward distribution. So I've like divided the benefits of clipper marketing into two sides for creators and for clippers. But I wouldn't go too much detail into that because I've just talked about it a lot. And um, this is kind of like a call to action for joining the beta program. And the beta program is kind of in here to invite more people to join and invite more creators and clippers by giving them better perks so that they would have more willingness to try this out. So that's basically the onboarding page. And if we go to click on these two buttons, it's gonna get us to log in. And if you have not logged in, you got to sign up first.
Mhm.
And since I already have my both Clipper ID and Creator ID, I'm just gonna log in here. So this is the dashboard for the creators. And because it's a creator, you can start your first campaign by clicking this button, create new campaign. And let's say that the campaign title is Clipper Market Introduction. So a niche and category could be technology. And you set a total budget of like let's say $2,000. And let's say that we want to reward about $10 for the views.
What?
And
Oh. Market rate right now is 1,000 is $1 per 1,000 views.
uh,
But I mean obviously we're running this for a similar if it's just to
yeah,
give people some context.
that's true. That's true.
Uh,
Let's just say that I'm just gonna post this video right here
uh-huh.
for a demo, and you create campaign. So success campaign created successfully, and let me just log out from the screen. And if we log in as like a clipper, and this is the dashboard for clippers where you can see like how many clips you submitted, what was the total view, and what was the total earnings for you. And if you take a look at the browse campaigns, it lists all these different examples that I created for the development. But here we can see that the clipper market introduction is right here, RPM $10 for 1,000 views, and the remaining budget of $2,000. And if you view the campaign, you get to download the raw video, which is the video that I uploaded, and you just hit download from here. And if you just go back, and you can submit your clip by posting your clip URL right here. It could be like a TikTok video, it could be like a YouTube Shorts. And if you submit clip, it's gonna go into the system for me to view and see how many views it created and change the remaining budget. And this part is kind of like manual because this is still an MVP and it has not been totally automated yet. So which means it's still an ongoing project that I need to improve, but it's the MVP is just here to kind of test the market, see if there are needs and if it's gonna match like a product market fit. So that's about it.
I really like this because I would say that if this was another episode of Culinary Wars, you definitely attempted, I would say a pretty difficult dish to make because you have but it also goes to show you the power of what AI can do right now. Because you have to have one login right now as the creator, and then you have to also have one login as the clipper. So the difficult thing about the marketplace is that you are actually creating two websites, two platforms in one platform because you have like Uber, you have obviously when you sign on for the first time, they ask you very clearly, are you a writer or are you a driver, right?
Mm.
And this is to have the logic on both ends is quite difficult. We just saw Eric create a brand new creator campaign and then logging back in as a clipper and also being able to view that campaign done within 12 hours is wildly impressive, my friend. Uh,
Yeah, it really shows the power of AI because once I just put in the stuff that I needed for, in Lovable or Gemini, it produced the results for me to kind of um, make improvements and adjustments. So that was very helpful. Yeah.
yeah. So let's ask you a few questions, kind of dig into this. No, no, go back to the website so people can
Oh
actually
yeah, sure.
keep on admiring this wonderful masterpiece here. Why did you and I love the color purple, but why did you choose the color purple as
Um,
this color scheme?
so I thought not only is purple kind of like one of my favorite colors, I thought purple would make the website, I guess, two things. First one is more technological, and second is like more modern. And I thought since creators and clippers they are both into like this entertainment market, they would be drawn to the visuals. And the first visual that I created based on Lovable was not very good at all. And this kind of improvement, I hoped it would kind of help them put more attention to the product. Yeah.
I love it. They're NYU colors.
That's true.
Uh, okay, and then at the bottom there right now, I see on the dashboard, which is no, if we scroll up a little bit,
Hmm.
has I mean, has this already gone to market? Because I see 000 active users, 000 active completed projects, and then also 0% in terms of satisfaction. So, like, has this gone to market yet?
No, these are actually just placeholders, and if we actually go into the market, there would be changes that I would make. Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to understand that, whether there has already been completed projects, but this hasn't been the data hasn't been synced over.
Mm,
Very cool. What is I love this idea because as a creator myself, it does solve a very real problem out there. Um Roy from Cluely often mentions that the number of people that have been viewing content or doom scrolling has almost 100x in the past few years, but the amount of content that's actually been created has actually only increased by an extra 5%. It's actually not as the pace completely does not match up with the number of eyeballs. So if you're, I promote right now the cybersecurity, HVAC, and all these other offers. So like really just dropping out more content, you can get more eyeballs on it. They will
mm,
go out there and actually make purchases.
mm.
What is your goal now? This product has already been built, so you already gone through kind of the cycle of it. So whatever it takes about 30 you have to go to market about 30 times to really understand how to master this process.
Right.
What's the next steps for this? You're gonna go ahead build something else? You're gonna try to monetize? What's the goal both?
Yeah, that's a really great question because um, I was actually thinking about, I mean, I thought it would be kind of like a waste to just let this go because I know that, Wop Clips is, doing great um and it takes for some time for something that went into fashion in the US become fashion in Korea. It takes about 5 years. But since it's like an age of AI, it might get shorter. And if I am focusing on the Korean market for now, this is going to be pretty fashionable anytime soon. So I just wanted to be the first one out there, which means I kind of want to make money on this, which means I would need to start looking for creators, um, if they are, who are willing to put campaigns. But then my concern in that goal is that um, it would be like, what do you think? Like, would creators be willing to pay about $1,000 to promote their content?
Depends on the creator. But also it's commission based because if they don't get you 1,000 views, right? If they don't get you 1,000 views, well, let's first actually define it. I'm really happy that you talked about going to market because now we're talking about my domain. So who are we trying to attract here? We can do it either one of two ways, honestly, both. Are we trying to attract American creators trying to break into the Korean market? So we're talking about American creator to Korean clipper, Korean creator to American clipper, or Korean
Mm,
creator to Korean clipper, American
mm,
creator to American clipper. What are we trying to do?
mm.
Or we could say all of the above.
Right. If we're talking about the size of the market, it would be American creators to whatever clippers to Korean market. I mean, to and actually like American market. But then I thought that there is like there is already high competition there, which is WAP. Um, would this be distinct from WAP? That's a question I want to make.
You know, I posted up on my IG today that there's a company, I don't know if you heard of it, it's called Brex.
Hmm.
And the guy, he basically copied the payments platform, but he made it native to his home country's language and then
Mm,
rolled it out mass market.
mm,
So they're really, sometimes people they think about like, okay, Korea's 55 million population size is 55 million and shrinking. Obviously, America, you got 300 million and somewhat growing because we have an immigration policy right here, right? Even though our birth rate, I think, is kind of like the same because advanced economies, generally speaking, they don't have as many kids, but people still come here. A lot of times people think that, oh, like if I'm going to spend 100 hours, 200 hours trying to solve a problem, maybe I should solve a bigger problem. But honestly speaking, I think like if you roll this out to Korean markets, Korean creator to Korean clipper, I think it would actually do very successful because from what I've seen, the apps that are the most liquid and cash friendly, they're doing it in languages like Portuguese, they're doing it in French, they're doing it in Japanese. The Chinese obviously crushing it's 1.4 billion. You also have high competition though there too, because it's a country with a high IT literacy rate.
mm,
But no reason why you cannot roll it out into Korea. I would actually, if I were you, I would use that as a sample set, especially because you know the language, is to
right.
roll it out to Korean creators and to Korean clippers, because you also
Mm,
don't have to compete as aggressively on TikTok and YouTube in a very loud, and English is the worst because you're competing against everybody from Australia to the UK. Like
right.
Atlassian is from Australia, right? There's actually a lot, like Canva is from Australia too. There's a lot of actually really good internet companies that are coming out of Australia.
Oh,
There's a good, I mean, 11 Labs, that's UK. So like English, English is like it's the most brutal market, not to mention all the people that speak it because the whole world grows up learning it. So I feel that the best way to do it is I would, if I were you, I would test it out because you're also getting a lot of experience working with the creator.
mm,
And you're also learning that entire process through. So if I were you, I would actually roll it out Korean creator to Korean clipper, get the
mm.
experience there, and then figure out how you can roll it out to Korean clippers to American creators.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You'll need
that
you'll
sounds
need
good.
both. Yeah, yeah.
And if we are if I'm aiming towards those Korean creators, and you mentioned that it depends on the creators and depends on their contents on who would be willing to pay for this kind of service.
I don't think it's actually I look at the problem maybe a little bit differently. I could be
Mhm.
wrong. I think the more important thing about the clipper market is actually the clippers. Because like we have a lot of testimonials. Like we just put out I love promoting myself, but we put out like Amazon testimonial yesterday, right? She gave a lot of really good if you go to like the Product Gym YouTube channel right now, you'll see like we actually yeah, pull it up if you can. Uh you'll see that we put out like a good amount of testimonials, but like sometimes they'll say something that's very specific to yeah, like right there, like how I landed an Amazon product manager job on H-1B visa.
Mm,
Yeah. Obviously did very well for her. But like there's certain if you're talking about the whole 20-minute, 29-second video, I don't think a lot of people will watch it. But if you're talking about like pure like 30 seconds, 34 seconds here and there, like the very good gem, I think that if you have a really good clip and you have really good title, it will deliver value, right? So there's things that she says where it's just like, if I catch it, it's in front of your face. There's a reason why when you scroll down, when you scroll down a little bit on the YouTube,
mhm.
A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, you'll see that when I put up like a screenshot of the E-Trade, right? When I put up a screenshot of the E-Trade, everything is all about attention. So
Yeah.
whoever can get the most I used to think like 60-second clip is too short. Now sometimes when I'm like I doom scroll so much, I feel like 60-second clip is like too long. You know, you really want it like you're really trying to find the nudges of the nuggets of like 25 seconds. So if you have really good clippers, creators will pay
Mm,
because
mm.
the investment justifies itself. It's not you're spending money, it is you are investing money. So
Yeah, that's true.
I think that the faster I think what we should really be targeting is actually because Korea is actually #1 in terms of content in the entire world right now. As highlighted, they the Grammys they're dominating. If you have like really good clippers and the product is just going to speak more superior than I think what's out there in the marketplace. You have really good clippers, then everybody's just going to want Korean clippers.
Mm,
You know, I'm actually very interested in this project because this is something that Korean people can start making money. I spent a year and a half there. So like this is something that people can do from the comfort of their own home with a
yeah,
Wi-Fi connection. And this is a way for them to go out there and generate income from outside of the country.
right, right, right.
The last time I checked, the, every government around the world right now is figuring out how to generate outside income for their young people, you know? Yeah, so I feel that if they were better educated, but I think the missing link, um, actually, yeah, we could stop share right now. But I think the missing link is going to be this and this is what I feel like a smaller business like yours has a much better advantage than a bigger company like a WAP. Or like there's other Clipper marketplaces. They don't do a very good job with the following thing. Number one is helping the creator. They just tell creators like you doom scroll and you're like, oh, these like it's like, do you know what helped very, very clear example is the new New York City mayor, Mamdani. He won with user-generated content, UGC. Where does UGC come from? Clipping.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, why is Andrew Tate, hate him or love him? How, there was a time when I didn't know who the guy was, and then all of a sudden he's all over the place. And I see subtitles from like Arabic to like Korean, and it says like Andrew Tate. There was a time when I didn't even know who the guy was, but love him or hate him, where is that? Where is that coming from? That's coming from Clippers. Uh,
mm,
the astronomer CEO. There's so many people clipping off of astronomer, right? It's because that attention generates revenue. So what they don't do a really good job of, and where you can go out there and attack it, I would love to help you out on this, is educating the creator, how can they help the clipper? So we have so many placements, as you can see, right? We have so much content that we put up there. But like most of these bigger companies, it's not like we don't do clipping. We do clipping too. People see us clips like all the time. They don't educate us on a better process to help the clippers out. They just say, this is the Google folder, upload your shit on here. But like, I would love to go out there. I don't know how to, and a lot of other creators don't, but it would be great if they could say, okay, so here's what you want to do. You want to set up a time to meet with as many of your clippers as possible and tell them, educate them, because they're clipping for everybody from like, you know, this freaking hand lotion I brought back from South Korea. Like, okay,
yeah.
why is this hand lotion different, right? Well, it's made with real sugar and mango seed oil, right? Well, why do you go out there and you need to go out there and use that? Blah 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 blah. they don't really do a good job. If I was in the business, I would actually have a whole checklist and actually say, you should set up at least 2 times a week where you can, 2 different times, like a Tuesday and Thursday, where you can meet with the most amount of clippers and actually educate them on how they can clip better for you. Okay, we just helped this lady get a product manager job at Amazon, and she was on an H-1B visa. For a lot of these clippers, maybe they don't even know what an H-1B visa is. They don't even know, how difficult it is to get a job at Amazon, or like what is product management, or how big of a deal. When we coached up some lady to go out there, like she was on the verge of being sent home. And we were able to do it for this, like, oh, and it's like, did you know, like, right now companies have to sponsor like $100,000 visa for people to come, if they really want that person, because now you're making a case, this is the best person on the job, right? Um, I think if more people saw that, people would be like, holy moly, the training at Product Gym must be so phenomenal, you know? Because if they could do it for her, probably, I think I would love to go out there and then become a student at Product Gym, right? They don't actually have a time. They just upload everything. So a lot of times you have really amateur clippers, and the best clippers, they have the best clippers. They don't bother with them because the best clippers are already making the highest rates. So it'd be great because a lot of these amateur clippers that are coming in that are learning the business, they're like, huh, interesting. Oh, I don't know I can make money clipping. I don't know anything about clipping, but maybe me and my girlfriend, me and my boyfriend, we want to go out there and do this on a Saturday night now and see if we can go out there and make some extra money. I think that would be very good. And that's a huge competitive advantage that you have as the CEO of your company, right? Another thing here is they also don't educate the clippers on how to identify good opportunities. When somebody told me about clipping for the first time, no joke, I did not, for the life of me, understand what clipping is. I did not understand. I was like, I was trying to understand, and they're like, oh, Rich, you have all of this content out here. And I'm actually gonna get ready to show you. I had actually a whole video called How to Make Money on WAP, which is actually right here. How to make money on WAP as a clipper. And I made this video. And I actually got a comment. He's like, this guy said this. He's like, I was confused AF too. This is the best breakdown I've seen. Because they're like clipping. I'm like, what is clipping? And I was like, okay. And I was like, there's nothing for me to sell here. I'm not training you how to be a clipper. I don't have a clipper school. But I was like, this is what you need to know if you're a clipper on WAP. And what does like this mean? And this is what this means, is what this means, right? I actually made this video to educate also my own team on what clipping is. And I thought, I was like,
Mm,
okay, I might as well just make a video and just post it up on YouTube about it. But they also don't do a good job of educating people that how to get like good clippers to find you, how to incentivize good clippers to work with you more efficiently. But I would say in business, what I found out is the newcomers are the hungriest because they're like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm getting excited. Seems like there's some money to be made here. I want to get in on this. What do I do? There is no user education. User
mm,
education, and this is where you can make a lot of content, is so bad. And I think it's either carelessness or it's deliberately done this way because they don't see the point in it. Airbnb, honestly, should be hosting, it's a marketplace too. Airbnb should be hosting trainings on how you can make more money on Airbnb. You know how many webinars and hackathons I run? Like on meetup.com and Eventbrite and meetup.com, they should be having tons of education for the creators. Like, hey, Rich, I see here you made millions. I mean, our classes ranges from 7K to 15K up. Ah, so we do 15 enroll, and that's million their status right there, right? And I've met people make way more money than me, like 10 times, 20 times more. They don't educate these people on how to use the situation, how to use the app, how to use these platforms better. No more than like Tinder has no education for the users how they can go out there and actually find more meaningful matches. They actually don't
Mm.
need to spend more money running ads. If they threw up a webinar like, hey, are you finally ready to get a serious boyfriend or girlfriend before Christmas? Well, like, and I guarantee you people will show up, they're already on the app.
Mm.
So where I see, even though you don't have $400 million in funding and you're solo vibe coding the whole thing, is you could really leverage WAP actually as a community where you can educate clippers on how they can make money clipping because there's a lot of people that would love to learn how to clip and make money. At the same time, there's also a lot of really good clippers. They're trying to find businesses that actually deliver, like ours. I've seen this from when I was a recruiter. That was actually really my job is to go out there and connect really good talent with really good people because there's a lot of really good software engineers, product managers, UX designers out there that are like, I know I'm really good at what I do. Why do I keep working for such shitty companies? There's also a lot of really good companies that are wondering why their team is so shitty too. So, but that's what any marketplace does, is trying to solve the problem on both sides. And
Mm.
I think right now, because the creator economy is set to creator economy, I think you're getting in like at the right time. But the creator economy right now is set to go ahead and really blow up to about nearly double. Oh, here, I found the link. The creator economy is set to go ahead and actually double by 2027. This is the fastest growing market segment out there. Korea is at the center of a lot of content as well. So I don't see why you wouldn't be able to pair both of them, but I would say like your best way to go to market organically, if you wanted to do this thing for the long haul,
Yeah,
is providing really valuable education for people that are either clipping already to find how do they find higher paying clients. Secondly, how to get people interested in starting the clipping as a side hustle, but also providing a lot of information on how creators can go out there and help create better clips. So I talk to marketing people all the time. I get hit up by digital marketing people all the time. I'm like, you don't have to sell me on clipping. So what do I do? What's the next step? We'll just get all your clips together. Well, then what? Okay, just upload it to a Google folder. And then what? Okay, and then get on WAP. And then what? If money was flowing in that easy, nobody would be poor, right? The best creators, they also don't share their secrets very often. Is like they have a whole process. What I've seen is a very structured process, and they have a very, very good relationship with their clipping community. They give out incentives, bonuses. Um, yeah. So even this too, this is a long form video. If this was done in person and people watch this thing throughout from the beginning to the end, I think a lot of people will be joining Product Gym. But like, how many people are actually going to watch this whole podcast? You know,
that's true.
right? How many? You got to think about that. This thing will be cut into short form, but it has to hit. But that's why I feel like in person is actually going to be making a very big comeback for a lot of businesses. I actually posted up on LinkedIn that like Netflix is like Gen Z are going back to the malls right now, the regular American shopping malls at a rate that's never been seen. Something that I've also noticed is when I was traveling, Seoul, Hong Kong, Bangkok, New York, London, LA, Sunday morning music rave, very big. Because people like that, like in-person community, people are drinking less alcohol, and running club also getting very popular. So
Mm.
like I would also host a combination of live webinars on with creators, also in person with influencers, also in person with clippers, and also hosting in person with both creators and clippers. You know,
Yeah.
if you ever come to New York, like I'll set one up for you. And then I think if you do one, Korea loves. this kind of stuff where they dominate content, crypto, esports, anything that has to do with brain power, because there's no natural resources to export, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Only manpower,
Only brain power, actually.
brain power.
That's number one export, right? That's why I was there for a year and a half, dude. I loved it
Mm.
there. So when they see that, oh wow, like and also I think like educating Clippers on another great area to create content is uh how they can leverage AI to go out there and actually clip. The best clips are still created by human beings. Like
Yeah, I was
it's
thinking about that because
yeah.
like there are like products that just make short clips out of long forms, and my assumption is that people are going to do a better job than AI.
They
Is
will
that true?
100%. That's why you got to do both.
Mm,
Because like that's why like you get it like Joe Rogan as a podcast, he has so much user generated content out there. And it's not coming, it's like what you said, it's not coming from him. I think the angle, the intention of what you said, like they use a lot of unauthorized clips, that is a good intention, but I don't think that's reasonably enforceable because bigger companies have already tried. When I started Product Gym at like 8 years ago, right, we would get somebody a product manager job at Spotify, and then Spotify would send us a letter saying like, "Oh, you can't use the Spotify logo." Now they don't even give a shit because like now it's like you see so many people even on a personal Instagram account they will, because I guess they're such a big fan of Jensen Huang, they will just edit out a clip of Jensen Huang from a CNBC video and just upload it.
yeah.
Before it was infringement because it's happening so often that they can't enforce it. So if ChatGPT can't even enforce it, it's kind of hard.
Which means the creators that I should be looking for are people who just want to promote themselves out there without caring about the unauthorized authorized use, right?
It's already happening, you know. Uh Andrew Tate is the perfect example of it because there was a lot of clips that I'm not saying that guy's like everything he says is correct or incorrect. I'm not taking a side, but you had people that clipped very specific parts that they know was going to aggravate a certain portion of the population, and it'll just be like 5 seconds, and they know like people watching would be really pissed off or like they would find it really funny. But
Mm,
like the number of accounts that they saw that like was out there, they just can't stop it. Clearly themselves have about more than 100 Clipper accounts that they own. Not to mention all the ones that are just out there that they pay, that are just
mm,
freelancers. But because the guy Roy Lee is just so like such a character, you also have a lot of people just putting his face in his video out there on shit. And they can't stop it either.
mm.
Yeah, yeah.
And about the education stuff, should it be on the platform or the creators to educate those clippers? Like, I mean, creators know their own thing the best, but the platform you're saying also should have a say in educating the clippers to, make better videos, right?
I mean, 100%. I think LinkedIn should is probably the like perfect example. LinkedIn, they have people that are hiring and they have people that are job hunting. It is a marketplace, but they've also created like a social market too, because people also just share regular stuff that's neither hiring or looking for a job,
Mm,
right? But LinkedIn can do a well, I guess if they did, I'd be out of business. But LinkedIn can honestly do a way better job of connecting employers to employees, to potential employees. They choose not to. And that's actually where a lot of people like myself just eat the crumbs.
mm,
So like I see the Clipper market, what you've built, I could see this as like you could be a guy that could just make a decent amount or at least own a good amount of distribution, attracting people into like a community that you could also host on WAP or you can go out there and host it on somewhere else, because people that clip for you is probably going to clip on WAP too. Like, I think we've all rode in an Uber before where they have Uber and the Lyft app on at the same
Yeah.
time. There's an app that actually helps them switch back and forth. Like, so they're maximizing, right? Like, they're not just like on Uber, they're also not just like on Lyft. I've seen it, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it before where it'll just come in and it'll just show them at the same time, like, this ride's going to make you a little bit more money. Maybe you have to drive a little farther. This one's a little bit less, but it's on the way home. Which one do you want to go out there and take? Uh,
Mhm.
right. But yeah, that's a wrapper right there.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but for you right now, I would go ahead and I would do the next. These are the next things that I would go ahead and do is I would record either long form or short term form content that covers the following titles. Number one, um, what is clipping? Number two, how much money can you make on clipping? How long does it take to make $10,000 a month on clipping? Because people love that. Okay. Number four, what are the best sites to clip for? Okay. Number five, what's the best rate to clip? Like 99 cents per 1,000 views. Okay. And then I would also make one where it's just like how to make $1 million a year clipping.
Mm,
If the average going market rate is 99 cents per 1,000 views, just do the math. $1 million a year, that is about $83,330.33. So like in the $1, I mean, really do the math. How many views do you basically need? I would really dive into it, but I think there's so much potential here. You should definitely see this thing all the way through.
But then these videos should be targeted towards Korean market, Korean
Both,
clippers, both.
both. Every video that you make long form, you make a 60-second version of it.
Mm,
And every video that you make in English, you go out there and make one in Korean.
mm.
Vice versa. Uh, the
Okay,
name
that
of
makes
the
sense.
game
Yeah.
is always quantity, buddy.
I
Yeah.
mean, the purpose of making these videos is what? Is to draw clippers to view my contents,
Yeah. Is to
mm,
draw clippers to go out there and get on your platform.
get on the platform. So, which means I need to make a WAP or something, right?
100%. I mean, and then on top of that, you need to start talking to creators. You need to start talking to everybody from the fitness models to the Pilates instructors to the firefighters to get on that freaking thing. Yeah, you know, like 99 cents per 1,000 views, not bad. The more you go for the lower tier people first, and then I don't know, maybe it's like even if you had it, get some user feedback, talk to as many influencers as possible, but maybe, okay, can we do 99 cents for 2,000 views? You know, 99 cents for 3,000 views? Undercut the competition, man, the Asian way.
Mm.
Right? Because the truth of the matter is, all you really need right now is one video to hit 100,000 views. And then now you just flex that video out like crazy. It's like, okay, yeah, one of my clippers, I currently have like 71 clippers right now, but one of my clipper groups, they did 100,000 videos for this one, for this one like Korean sunscreen. Right? Which means
Yeah.
X amount of revenue for them. Now everybody drops in.
Mm,
And then now you can start playing with all kinds of rates.
mm.
Yeah. But like in any business, don't expect things to happen quickly. Have very clear time blocks and be in it for the long haul because it's the infinite race. You know, it might
That's
just
true.
it might just take you like 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 7 months. Like that's the whole grind of it is like you're not making money, not making money. I'm doing a little bit, you're getting a little bit better, you're getting a little bit better, not making money, not making money, and then boom, it just looks like overnight success.
Mm,
So for like a lot of Americans too, they're looking at Korean content right now, and they're like, I grew up with Korean people in LA. They're like, oh my gosh, like Koreans are taking over Netflix, like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, this has been a project that's like easily 3 to 4 decades in the making, you know? People don't know how many sacrifices were made to even get
right.
on Netflix. Now it's like they're dominating the chart. So,
Mm,
but I feel like creator space in general is like you're getting in at the prime time because Goldman Sachs came out with the report. Remind me to send it to you later because I gotta hop onto my next call. But the creator space is like it is going trending up because people are all following creators. So
mm.
whatever it is that they're using, they love the influencer. And Korea actually right now has the highest paid brand ambassadors and influencers out there. You go to like a Paris or Milan Fashion Week, Koreans dominate that thing. Like I'm freaking amazed. Like people are screaming like their names. Like the ones that speak English, that's one thing. Like Jenny speaks English or like Rose speaks English, but even the ones that only speak Korean, I was pretty blown away. Like, like
Really?
yeah, because they have yeah, I was at the Johnny Walker event and
Oh,
like alcohol sales has gone down 70% globally, but all the whiskey brands, there isn't any product category where they are not investing hard with Korean influencers.
oh,
And
really?
for 2 decades, whiskey had avoided the Korean market because they're like, go down to a freaking like GS Martin, just get soju and just get, knocked out, right? It's freaking like, how are you going to compete with like 1500 won, you know? But like they're dropped because of the brand value. They understand if
Mm,
you put like a Korean celebrity face on there, you get the rest of Asia.
mm.
So like you're getting in, I think, at a really prime time because like user generated content. Um, Mamdani is one success story from a political perspective, but Cluely is another success story from a startup perspective. UGC is the future. Like I have run a business for 8 years. Ads are falling flat. Nobody's spending money on ads. Nobody's clicking on ads. Nobody's buying off of ads. People are buying products when they resonate when the story that they have of the person behind the product or they are purchasing with the relationship they feel like they have with the creator or influencer and why they are using a product. Okay. I told you guys this during the thing, like New Balance, they spent 80% on influencers and then they decided to spend 20% on promotions. 3 years prior to that, they spent 20% on influencers and then 80% on promotions, and they completely saw skyrocket. Like New Balance now
Right.
used to be dad shoes, now it's hot, you know? Gymshark is the same thing. They fund athletes at these competitions. The CEO himself is very athletic. I can't say the same shit about Nike CEO. He does not look very in shape to me. But he competes in these spaces, right? There's a new guy from the UK. I forgot his name, but he's competing in every sports competition out there. And he was able to hire the former chief brand officer for Adidas and Nike. The guy worked for both Adidas and Nike. He's like the Joni Ives of that space. Like, but he's like the branding king, and he's competing out there in these CrossFit competitions, in high rocks, in these marathons. Nobody else is doing it. They're like, who's the CEO of New Balance? Nobody can tell you. Who's the CEO of Adidas? Nobody can tell you. Who's the CEO of Nike? Maybe somebody can tell you, like Phil Knight, you know. But if you had any one of those CEOs come out, I guarantee you wouldn't think they go to the gym. But he's actually out there, right? So like people resonate with stories, and the more AI is taking over, that's why Alexis Ohanian, he's like, when AI automates everything, like people are gonna love watching so much more about sports because like he's like people might not be like a football fan, or you might not even be a Patriots fan, but you're a Tom Brady fan, you know. He's like, you might not be a Real Madrid fan, but you're a David Beckham fan because you want to know why? It's like people resonate with the struggle you know
Mhm.
so like that's why like a lot of these creators they get such massive hits when they like cry or have a full breakdown because somebody else is
Right, right.
on the other side of it. They're going through a breakdown too. You know,
Mhm.
I think it's part of the reason why I just own the Chinese and Korean product management market. But it's hard to resonate with somebody's story. So this is a really cool project. This is a space that companies are just gonna invest more money in. I think like you have a unique advantage with having an in with the Korean market. And like creator market's gonna blow up. UGC is already established. We saw that with Mamdani and Cluely. Like you should pursue this thing. I mean, this shouldn't be all you do. You still need a job. But like and you still need to do other things too. But this is something that you should be really focused on pursuing for the long haul. If you just stick with it, I promise you're gonna be successful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, it would be great to keep talking to you and ask you some questions about this. And I'm gonna make those videos that you talked about. That'd be great. Yeah,
Make those videos, get on WAP, talk to the community, like having a good relationship with the creators and having a good relationship with the clippers and just marrying that. There's so many people that are just able to win. There's so many platform never underestimate the power of human connection. There are so many people that there's so many platforms that say like, oh, we help VCs connect with startup founders, you know. But I see the people that are doing the best in the marketplace are just human beings where they're just throwing a rooftop thing and they're asking VCs and analysts to come out. They're asking startup founders like yourself to just come out and like they're just, literally like it's kind of like those old school Korean matchmaking. They're really like just like introduce like, hey, like I want you to meet Eric. Eric's got a clipper market going on. Do you know what UGC is? Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about. We're getting back to a lot of those because I think people are, I don't want to kill my own business, but AI right now like generally speaking, people are intrigued by it, but people are getting very turned off. People want to go back into like more the old school human
the
connection
human side, right?
sense of human community, feeling of like, yo, it's like we're talking about real like human beings here that gotta eat, You're like going out there and wipe out people. It's not like it's not helping like winning an argument. So I think things that you can focus on that end. Yeah, I could talk to you about this thing honestly all day because I'm very enamored in this space myself, but unfortunately I gotta run to my next call. Dude, next steps is crank out those videos, get your LinkedIn, get your TikTok, Instagram, WAP, and YouTube up. I will put you on my newsletter and get you out there.
Right, right. Yeah,
Okay?
I'll make a new account for the Clipper market.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Get it. Okay. And then don't
Right.
forget to also make an Eric Kim, like TikTok account where you're documenting this entire journey
Oh yeah,
because you
that's a separate
need,
thing.
right, you need people to be like, this is gonna be your own freaking army. Is gonna be like, you want all the Asian kids behind you like shit. I'm watching him go from like 0 to 1. This is my biggest regret. We scaled so fast in such a short amount of time. So many times people ask me like what happened in the project from the beginning. I was like, I don't even remember. But like I at the same time I also had imposter syndrome. I was like, yo, like we have nothing. Like I'm just trying to get people jobs right now. Should we document it? But you're gonna look back at this time like you're gonna really want to document all of this.
Mm.
So like you should have like all the day in the life content, like day one, day two, day three. Let people follow you because through that journey you'll get like a lot of clippers, people that end up becoming clippers, and then you also get a lot more creators that are reaching out to you as well. Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
All right,
Thank you
man.
for
I
the
got
talk. It
to
was good.
run. I'll get this thing up. All right, talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.